mental health is something that we don't talk about enough. In the black community, well, we're massively overrepresented in the mental health institutions, even more so than in the prisons. And again, these are questions we have to ask. Well, why?
But once you get a control and an understanding of who you are, no one can use you against you. No one can ever use your mental illness against you. You've already spoke about it, so what you got?
The biggest point in life to resolve mental health is like giving a fuck about a person.
Where did you get the courage? I got the courage. The 2 words. I care.
It's Chill Will Radio, where connections will be made, advice will be given, jokes will be told, and things will get real. My name is Willis Cooks, and I'm your host. But understand this show is not meant to be used as a substitute for a relationship with a licensed mental health professional. Enjoy the show, y'all. Yo, good morning, peoples. Good morning, everyone. Wake up, wipe the crust out your eyes if you're just now tuning in. If you're hearing this or you're already woke and you're at work or you're getting your business together or you're starting your day or you're hearing this tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, whenever you listen to this episode, yo, good looking. What's the deal, man? Welcome everyone to another episode of Chill Will Radio, man. I hope everyone's doing swell this morning. I hope everybody's Monday was all good. Today's Tuesday, so I hope everybody's Monday was all good. I hope everybody's Monday was straight. As I always say, if your Monday didn't go as good or if things didn't go as planned as you wanted to go, that is fine. You got every day to start over. You got today to start over. You got tomorrow to start over. It's important that you start over. It's important that the BS that happened yesterday, the BS that happened before, you let it go. And if it's tough for you to let it go, that's cool. But just don't put all the energy into it. Don't put all the energy into the nonsense. Because the more we focus on something, the stronger it is going to become. The more we focus on those negative thoughts, the louder they're going to get. The more energy we put into getting rid of those negative thoughts, the louder they're going to get, the stronger they're going to become. The more focus and energy that we put into getting out of those challenges and all of those things that we don't have any type of control over, the harder it's going to be to get out of it, right? I'm not saying to not put any energy into the BS. I'm not saying to get rid of the bullshit. I'm not saying to completely ignore it and avoid it. What I'm saying is, your ass need a break. Your ass need a break. You probably been going through a lot of BS so far in your life, and this is 2020. We about to hit August, I believe, next week, and you ain't had a break yet. This year is back and forth. It's boom, 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 boom. A lot of things going on, and you haven't had a break yet. So give yourself that break. You're 100% in charge of that. Make sure you are doing that. If you're not, you're cheating yourself, homie. Cheating yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're not helping yourself out. You're not doing what you have to do so you can operate at your fullest capacity, right? Make sure you do what you got to do. I know a lot of people out there that's out here making moves, doing work, doing good things, but understand, the mission could chill. The mission that you have in your life, it can take a break. That mission ain't going nowhere. Take a break from that mission and focus on yourself, all right? But as I stated earlier, thank you for all those that's tuning in. I am doing fine. I hope everyone's doing good. So let's get it right into it, man. As always, where do I want you to put your energy at today? Where do I want you to put your energy at today? Right? This is something that I say all of the time, and I think we should put more focus and emphasis on that. And I think I kind of said that, kind of skated over it a little bit when I was speaking when I first got on the show. But the one thing I want you to put your energy towards today is put your energy in the things that you can control. I liked how the music stopped at that point. But put your energy in the music that you act in the music. Put your energy in the things that you actually can control. Simple thing, hard as fuck. Comes with tons of rewards, but simple thing, hard as fuck. right? Because we put all of our energy into things that we can't control. All of our energy into things that we can't control. We are going 12 rounds with that stuff. And we get knocked out. Every round, we get knocked out. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth, sixth, and seventh, we think we got it in check. We think we can kind of handle those things that we can't control. Those people that we're trying to change, we think we got it. Those problems, that's not our problem, but we taking those things as if those are our problem, we think we got it in check. So there's a few moments within your life you think, okay, I can handle this. But you're going to get knocked out again. You're going 12 rounds with those things in your life that you can't control. And you get knocked out every single round. It's a constant battle. And you're sitting there wondering why you losing. You're sitting there wondering why you're getting beat up. Wondering why you always taking these L's. Wondering why things are always going left. It's because you're dealing with shit that's out of your hands. You have these expectations that you can fix everything, right? I think like a few weeks ago, a few shows ago, I spoke about how we deal with disappointment, how to properly deal with disappointment, right? One of the ways to do that is to be able to get out of that mindset, get out of those expectations that you put on certain people, that I could fix you, or I could change you, or I could do whatever I want and don't expect you to get mad. Nah. Focus on the things that you actually can control. A lot of us are trying to change people within our lives. We're trying to change our family member, right? Some of us may have that crazy aunt or that crazy brother or sister or cousin or mom, pops, whatever. We got that crazy family member who just don't get anything that we're speaking about, right? We're trying to explain to them why I have depression, or why I sometimes feel suicidal, or why I don't feel good, why my mood is going low, why I'm going to therapy. We're trying to explain ourselves to them entirely too much. We're putting all of our energy into making sure they understand where I'm coming from. You gonna lose, homie. You gonna lose every single time, and then it is not your job. It is not your job to make someone understand where you're coming from. It is not your job to make someone understand your point of view. It is not your job to make someone understand anything that's going on in your life. It's not your place. If people want to be able to understand what you got going on, if people want to be able to help you as best as they can, if people want to be able to do these things, you know what they're going to do? They're going to take a step back, open their motherfucking eyes, and listen. But we're trying to force people to listen. We try to force people to understand where I'm coming from. And that's going to cause you all types of anxiety. That's going to cause you to get depressed. That's going to cause you to get angry. That's going to cause you to be like, yo, fuck that person. That's going to cause relationships to get rocky. Because you don't understand me. A lot, when I'm working with these kids, in this psych hospital, a huge majority of them are saying, my mother doesn't understand. My father doesn't listen to me. They don't get where I'm coming from. I always tell them, you're not going to change that. Same with you. Stop trying to focus on the things that you can't control. The reason why this is so important is because yesterday at work, I'm working with the client, and a lot of these things are coming from issues and coming from things that I hear when I'm working with these people. I'm working with this client yesterday. She's having a whole episode. My father doesn't get this, and I don't want to go home because he doesn't understand me. And they will never get and understand where I'm coming from. They don't know why I cut myself and all of these things. And she's putting 1,000% of the energy into her father, but she's not looking at anything that she could do to change the situation. Because there's a lot of things that we can do in our lives that we could change the situation. If we just take a sit back and look at the things that I have control over, you're going to start to be like, damn, I could do this and this and this and this and this. And I don't need your permission. And I don't need your help. And it's going to make me feel better. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. It's going to be hard. But the thing is, when you are focusing on the things that you have control over, you are able to move at your own pace. You're able to have more control over your mood. You are able to become a stronger person. And you are able to operate at a more effective capacity. Right? So the one thing I want everyone to put your energy towards today. The one thing I want everyone to put their energy towards today. Today, tomorrow, next month, next year, forever. The one thing I want all y'all to put your energy towards. Put your energy towards the things that you can control. Put your energy into the things that you can control and get out of trying to fix something that's not in your hands. Because you can't do it. You're going to lose all the time. And it ain't your responsibility. A lot of things in life are not our responsibilities. A lot of things in life are not our problems. A lot of the problems that we go through in our lives, they are not your problem. Period. It's not your issue that someone doesn't understand you. It's not your issue that someone doesn't want to be there for you like they said they would. It's not your problem that such and such is doing this over there and they fucking up their life. It's not. But what is your responsibility is you. What is the thing that you have control over is you. You have control over your mood. You have control over the things you choose to take in. You have control over your actions. You have control over way more things than you actually think you do. Because we don't give ourselves credit for all of those things. Because we think our life is so much in shambles that we can't control shit. Like, no. You can control what time you get out of bed. You can control what time you wake up. You can control everything. And if you need somewhere to start with the smallest thing in your life. I always say, start with making up your bed. Simple task. Very simple task. But we need somewhere to start. So, the place I want y'all to put your energy towards today, put your energy in the things that you can control. Everything that you can't control, fuck it. Let it be. It ain't your problem. It ain't your responsibility. All right. So the one thing I want to make it clear, right, within this show, within this topic, right, the one thing I'm going to try to speak on as best as I possibly can as a therapist is the unrealistic expectations that you may have in therapy. The unrealistic expectations that you may have in therapy. I swear there should be a book on this, right? Because whenever I'm doing therapy, I'm not going to say whenever, but a huge majority of the time, right? Especially if this is your first time in therapy, we as therapists have to make it extremely clear of the expectations that you need to have within this session, within this time in therapy that you're going to have, right? Because a lot of us have unrealistic expectations, not even just in therapy, but in life, right? We all have them. We all have those unrealistic expectations that I'm going to do all of these things, knowing damn well you can't, knowing damn well you don't have the ability to, right? Unrealistic expectations potentially set us up to damage us emotionally, physically, disappoint us and others in many different ways, in many different areas. But the expectations that we have to understand how far they can actually go. We have to understand how realistic are they, right? And it's okay if you have unrealistic expectations, right? It's unrealistic to expect someone to have it's unrealistic to expect someone to not have unrealistic expectations. I had to slow myself down. But it's unrealistic to expect someone to not have unrealistic expectations. We have those from time to time. We do. I have them. A lot of people that listen to the show, you have them if you listen to the show right now. But the thing is with those expectations, are you putting them in check? Are you identifying what they are? Or are you just going along with it? Right? But when it comes specifically to these unrealistic expectations that we have in therapy, it's important for you as a client, it's important for you as an individual to understand when you're coming into therapy, right? You need to not put everything on us as a therapist, right? Because a lot of us think, not a lot of us, a lot of clients, right, that I have came across, they expect therapists to be the wisest persons, right? We're the know-it-alls. We know everything, right? Let me understand and let me tell you this. We don't know shit when it comes to what you have going on. We don't know nothing when it comes to what you have going on. We are only going to be able to assist you with as much things as you tell us. Yes, we may be able to pull little things out based upon your body language and the energy that we're getting in the room and how you avoid to speak about certain things, and we may be able to hint at certain stuff, but a lot of the times we throwing shots. We throwing shots, right? We just shooting our shot, hoping that it lands. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it don't. But we need to. But what you have to understand as a client is that we do not know what you are thinking. We do not know what you are talking about. It is on you to come into that therapy session and be as open as you possibly can. Yes, those first few sessions may be a little bit uncomfortable because this may be the first time in life that you're actually speaking about your shit to somebody. And that's cool. But you have to understand this therapy is only going to be as good as you allow it to be. Right? So the one thing I want a lot of people to understand is that us therapists, we're not know-it-alls. We're not the all-wise, all-seeing person. Like, no, we don't know shit. We don't know anything when it comes to what you have going on. We only know as much as you tell us. Another example of what people always think, that we have to be available all the time. I can give multiple examples in which I've had some clients try to hit me up at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, right? I understand that there are crisis situations going on within your life. And if you as a therapist, you're working with someone who is in crisis mode, who may need to get another psychiatric evaluation because they may possibly need to be hospitalized, okay, cool. Answer that phone call. However, you as a client need to understand, you as the patient need to understand, you as the individual who is receiving therapy needs to understand that we're not waiting on your phone call all the time. Like, I hate to sound rude when I say that, but we're not waiting on your phone call all the time. We're not. Because that time away is vital for me as the therapist. The time away from session is vital for me as a therapist. So if I do not have no time away from session, I will not be able to assist you the best that I possibly can. I'm doing you a disservice if I allow you to blow my phone up all the time. I'm doing you a disservice if I allow you to call me any hours. I'm doing you a disservice if I allow you to come here and just be my best friend and hit me up anytime you like. I'm doing you a disservice because, one, I'm setting up these unrealistic expectations that you can hit me up whenever. I'm not setting these clear boundaries as a therapist to say, hey, yo, if you are not in crisis mode, don't call me. I'm doing those things, and I'm not taking that time away from self, because a lot of therapists, we take in everybody's shit. A lot of therapists, we take in everybody's thing, and we're constantly working. We're constantly working at not allowing ourselves to get so caught up in your stuff that we need that time away, because we don't want your issues to affect my life. We don't want to get that counter-transference. That's what it's called, but we don't want to get that. I don't want your issues to transfer into my life, so that time away from me is vital. Another example that I want everyone to understand, and I think I kind of spoke about this earlier, but we can't fix everything. I don't have the answers to everything. I am not the all-seeing therapist for everything. I think a lot of clients, especially the new ones, and especially this kind of goes hand in hand with a lot of those clients who may have some sort of psychiatric issues going on. They may have some sort of mental disorder going on. The borderline clients, the bipolar clients. But you come into the session, you expect me to fix everything. And if I don't fix your specific issue, I'm a terrible therapist. I'm not the therapist when it comes to eating disorders. That's not me. I'm not the therapist when it comes to like LGBTQ stuff. That's not me. And obviously, it is the therapist's responsibility to be able to see that they are not able to assist that person as best as they possibly can because they are not competent within the issues or within the challenges that you're bringing to the table. And it is your job as a therapist to refer that person out. However, if you, as a client, you have to understand that I can't fix every single issue that you or problem that you have going on because every single client is not identical. Every single problem is not identical. Client X and client Y could have the same exact problem, but the solutions to their problems could be completely different. And what I think may work may not be able to work best for you. Right? Which is why it's important to understand that us as therapists, we're not giving you the answers. We're helping you facilitate through those emotions that you have in your life. So when things get rough, you have the ability to back off. You have the ability to handle it as best as you possibly can. You have the ability to cope with it. But is it my job to give you the answers to every single issue? No. It's not my job to do that, and I don't have the ability to do that because I don't know what works for you. I'm going to, like I said earlier, we shooting shots. We taking shots. We at the free throw. Sometimes we make them all, but every now and then we miss. And it's important that you as the client, you advocate for yourself because you know what works for you, right? You as the client, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to be your biggest advocate. Because therapist takes breaks. I'm going to take some time away from you. I'm not going to advocate for you every single time because at me as a therapist, I need to advocate for my mental well-being as well. So you as a client, you have to understand it. You have to advocate for yourself. You know what works for you. And when you find something outside of therapy that works for you, bring it to therapy. Let your therapist know that, hey, I tried the one thing that you told me to do. That didn't work. You're not going to offend us if you tell us that a specific coping skill doesn't work. Because we understand that every coping skill doesn't work for everybody. So when you come across certain things within your life that actually works for you, hold on to that shit. Hold on to it. Hold on to the things that work for you. Hold on to the coping skills that work for you. But understand, every coping skill is not going to work for every problem. You're going to have to have a specific coping skill for this specific issue, right? My mind doesn't shut up. I'm always thinking about things. So the one thing that helps me deal with that, the one thing that shuts my mind up is adrenaline type of things. That's why I skydive. It takes my mind away from all of the shit that I'm thinking about in my life. It takes my mind away from everything. When I'm at the drop zone, when I'm going skydiving, it's like everything in my world disappears. Period. And that's probably part of the reason why I don't really post about it like that, because it's for me. Find a coping skill that works for you within that specific situation. But you have to be open to the things that your therapists are giving you. You have to be open to everything that your therapist is giving you. And if you do not believe that that therapist is not right for you, you have the ability. Please don't stick with that therapist for too long. You have the ability to back off and go find someone else. Or you can even tell the therapist, like, hey, you know what? This isn't working. I need help in this specific area, this type of way. So the therapist can understand what they need to do, where they need to work at. Because like I said, a lot of the therapists are only operating within the lines that you give them. They're only operating within the things that you tell them. We are only operating within those areas, within that field. If you don't tell us nothing, we just going to be shooting shots, and we going to be missing everything. If you're trying to increase, our free throw percentage, if you're trying to make it better, tell us, speak to us, be open to everything that we're trying to give you. So that way, a lot of our free throws, a lot of the shots that we give it could actually go in. Another thing, one last thing that we all got to understand, our lives aren't perfect. Therapists' lives are not perfect. And this is probably specifically towards that actual therapist, right? All of this whole kind of show is actually to the therapist and understanding a lot of the boundaries that we have to put in when it comes to the clients. Because it's our responsibility to set that boundary from the beginning, to let that person know, hey, you can't call me all the time, big dog. Can't do that. But it's important for you as a therapist to understand that your life ain't perfect. And even though it is your job, even though it is your career, even though it is your current profession right now, to assist people, to help people, to care and advocate for people, you go through shit your damn self. You have problems within your life. Your situation may just be even identical or even worse than the actual client that you have on your current caseload. It might be. But you have to make sure you're taking that time away, taking that step back to handle your shit. It's okay to cancel clients, especially if you have a client who is not in crisis mode. If you have a client who's not having any current ideations, who's not cutting themselves, who's not simply like going off the wall. If you have a client that's chilling, cancel that session. But there's also understanding for that client. Hey, I go through shit too. Therapists go through shit too. Granted, us as therapists, we're not about to sit there and tell you the things that we go through. This therapy session isn't going to turn into a session for the therapist. But you as a client understand. You as a therapist understand you go through shit too. So you got to take your break. You have to take your break, right? So when it comes to a lot of these unrealistic expectations that we have in therapy, it's a two-way thing. It's vitally important for you as a therapist to put those boundaries forward and let them know certain things. Let them know, don't call me all the time. If it's not a crisis, I prefer for you to hit up this crisis hotline. Don't do that all the time. I prefer for you to call the clinic instead of calling my phone. Don't do that. Right? It's important that you as a therapist put those boundaries forward, but also you as a client, don't walk into that therapy session expecting you're going to get fixed, because that says a lot about how you handle situations outside within your normal life. If you go into situations and you expect that person to get fixed, what you're doing is you're kind of avoiding your situation and just putting everything on that person and making that person deal with it, so you don't have to work with your shit. You're making it seem like you're putting everything on that person and making it that person's job on them, making it that person's responsibility. There you go. Making it that person's responsibility to fix you. That's not what we're here to do. And those are not the expectations that you need to walk into therapy with when it comes to any type of helping profession. Any type of therapeutic thing that you're going to do. Make sure you're as open as much as possible to that situation. Make sure you are. If you're not, you're doing yourself a disservice. All right? So, last piece, the self-care piece. I want everyone to make sure you do. I hope everyone is actually doing it. I do this shit every single morning. Every single morning. What I'd make sure I do every single morning, I give myself a buffer time. Give yourself buffer time, right? Go to work a little early, 20 minutes early, so you can just chill. Go to your next appointment 20 minutes early so you can just chill. So you can just woosah. Put that buffer time within your schedule. That's going to cause you to wake up a little earlier. That's going to cause you to leave a little later. Leave a little earlier. That's cool. But you don't want to go to one situation. You don't want to go to one job. You need to get there, hop out, and go into work. You don't want to go to your next appointment, hop out, and go into work. You don't want to go to plan A, B, C, all these destinations and not have yourself any breaks, not have yourself any buffer times within those situations. All right? So the self-care piece, I want everyone to implement within their self-care regimen, put some buffer time into your schedule. Do you have buffer time? If not, you need some. You need that 10, 15, 20 minutes. That shit is vital. All right? So, as always, good looking for those people tuning in, those people who going to tune in tomorrow, later on today when you listen to this. Appreciate that wholeheartedly. Understand, right? First thing, quick little recap. Where you putting your energy at today? Put your energy into the things that you actually can control. Everything else, fuck it, right? A lot of us who are going into therapy our first time, those unrealistic expectations that you have when it comes to therapy, kill it. We're not God. We can't fix everything. We don't have the answers to everything. We not the all wise. We're not all available every single time. Like, no. Therapy is only going to be as good as you, as the client, allow it. If you are open, if you aren't telling us everything, that gives us more things to work with. If you don't give us nothing, we're going to be like Shaq at the free throw line, missing everything. If you as a client don't give us as therapists anything to work with, we're going to be like Shaq at the free throw line, missing everything. Our percentage is going to be trash because all we doing is taking shots. Everything is missing. We airballing everything. Help us help you, homie. Help us help you. But always, right, that self-care piece. Do you have buffer time? If not, put that into your schedule. Get to work 10 minutes early. Cool. So you can have a 10-minute time to chill before you walk in there. Get to your next destination a little early so you can have time to chill. All right? But as always, good looking. It's Tuesday. I hope everybody's day's finna start off right. I hope every day is going right if your day already started. But anyway, let's get today going. Hope everyone's day is cool. And if not, understand that ain't no wealth without your mental health. So please stay blessed, y'all. Take care of yourself. Peace.